Okay, so today we're diving into this really brilliant story coming out of Kenya. It's all about community, culture, and a whole lot of creativity. We're talking about a school that saw its plain, empty walls and had this incredible idea. What if we could turn them into our most powerful teaching tool?
So it really all boils down to this one simple question. How can a simple wall become a teacher? I mean, it kind of sounds like a riddle, right? But the answer is in this project that totally rethinks what a classroom can even be.
All right, let's set the scene. Our story kicks off at a school that was facing a challenge that was, well, pretty big and very, very blank.
So we're in Kenya at the Olosho Oibor Primary and Junior School. And look, like a lot of schools, it's this place full of vibrant learning. But the buildings themselves, they were, a little plain.
And when I say a little plain, get this. We're talking about 1,000 square meters of bare walls. Just think about that for a second. That's a huge amount of space, just sitting there. Totally blank, totally unused.
But here's the thing. Where some people might just see empty space, this community saw potential. They didn't see a problem that needed fixing. Nope, they saw a blank canvas just waiting for something incredible.
So, you've got this giant canvas. How in the world do you fill it? Well, the answer wasn't just about grabbing some paint. It was about painting with a totally new and really powerful purpose in mind.
And that answer was something they called murales educativos, or, educational murals. The goal? It sounds simple, but it's actually so profound. They wanted to turn the school's walls into a living textbook, something permanent, beautiful, and totally connected to the local culture.
And let me tell you, the project's goals were super ambitious. This was never, ever just about making the school look pretty. No way. The plan was to create art that spoke multiple languages, to teach universal values, to preserve Maasai culture, to raise environmental awareness, and maybe the most important part of all, to get the entire community in on it. And that vision, this mix of local and global, was literally built right into the art. I mean, the murals were designed to speak 4 languages. You've got the local Maasai language, the national language of Swahili, the global language of English, and get this, even Spanish. It's like they were building a bridge from their own community out to the rest of the world.
Okay, so if these walls could talk, what would they actually say? What would they teach? Let's dive in and look at the curriculum they literally painted right onto the school.
The themes were just so diverse. You could walk by one wall and learn about universal values, things like peace and respect. Then turn a corner and another wall is celebrating Maasai traditions. You'd see herding scenes, traditional clothing, the whole thing. And then other walls, they'd cover everything from the local environment and sustainability to science and math.
Just picture it. You're a student walking past a wall, and you see the Swahili word for peace, amani, painted right there next to the English word. Or maybe you see a motivational phrase like soma kwa bidii, which means study with effort. It's this constant visual reminder of the lessons you're learning inside the classroom.
And of course, the walls were also there for daily inspiration. You've got these simple, powerful messages like dream big, just woven right into the art. Imagine seeing that every single day. It's got to encourage you to look towards your future, right?
Now, what's really crucial to understand here is that this incredible vision wasn't just dropped on them by some outside group. No, this was built from the ground up, by the community, for the community, the very people who would see and use these walls every single day.
And get this, the whole transformation was planned to take just 15 days. It all kicked off with a design workshop where students and teachers got to say what they wanted to see on their walls. After that, it was all hands on deck, prepping the walls, holding a big community painting day, sealing the artwork to make sure it lasts, and then, of course, throwing a big party to celebrate.
And absolutely everyone had a part to play in this. You had the students and teachers at the very heart of it. The local Maasai community brought all their cultural knowledge. Local artists were there to guide everyone's brushstrokes. And yeah, of course, you had donors and allies who provided the resources to make it a reality. That right there, that's what true community ownership looks like.
But the beautiful art was really just the beginning. The real measure of success for a project like this is its lasting impact. Because, as we've been saying, this was always about so much more than just putting paint on a wall.
You can even see it in the budget, which tells its own story. Sure, the biggest chunk of money went to paint and materials, that makes sense, but look at how much was invested in the community artists and that design workshop. It just goes to show you, empowering the community was just as important as the final artwork.
So what were the results? Well, for one, the school is now this incredibly motivating, colorful place to learn. The murals are always there, visually reinforcing what's taught in class. But I think the biggest wins are that it's fostered this deep sense of cultural pride, and it's given the whole community a real feeling of ownership over their school.
And that really was the ultimate goal, wasn't it? To transform the school from just being a place where learning happens into a living, breathing textbook, one that any student could read just by walking around.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The Olasho Ybor community looked at 1,000 square meters of blank walls and saw a source of knowledge, of inspiration, of pride. So it makes you wonder, right? What untapped potential, what blank canvases are just waiting out there in our own communities?